Hello, this is Gorna Throt coming to you from the depths of Lost Hope. Welcome. Today we're going to be starting a Let's Play series on Project Zomboid. So for those of you who may not be familiar, I'm going to take a little time to explain some things that I'm doing. So if you're looking to pursue this game, it might give you some tips and tricks that might be helpful. If you are somebody who is already familiar with the game, then you can just sit back and relax and watch somebody suffer through the zombie plague. But with that, I will get started. I'm going to be playing a solo game, whereupon when I die, the series is over. I won't have a character coming up behind me, picking up the pieces of my shattered life. So if you are not familiar with the game, that's exactly what you can do. The game is built for you to die. So if you get killed, you can play another character on the same board and reap the benefits of somebody who came before you, whether it was building a base or procuring certain items, stocking food, etc. So, but this will be once and done, so we will be sole survivor. As you can see down here, I added a bunch of quality of life mods to the game. They'll be listed in the description along with their workshop IDs. So if you're interested or just wondering about things that I'm using, they can be found there. If you have any questions, you can leave a comment as to why I chose these specific mods. But basically, again, the quality of a life, things to manipulate the map, things to organize books that we find on shelves so they're easier to sort, etc., etc., etc. Nothing too big, nothing that gives us a total advantage, but we will be using the custom sandbox because I made a couple of adjustments, but it will be a survivor base. So everything that the survivor setting usually has listed, but with a few adjustments. And I will get into those when we see them. Basically, we will use all the spawns pillow mod, which will allow us to either spawn in Riverside, Rosewood, Muldraw, or over here on the map is Louisville. Seems weighted for Louisville, but that just might be me because I have a bunch of variations on the many spawns mods in there. So, but we will try all the spawns. And I will go down to a preset for a burglar. Let's see here. There we go. That's what I wanted. So we will be unfit, overweight, a burglar, occupation, which is over here, and each occupation has different attributes to it that give you plus and minuses to things, and they all have a cost. So the reason I chose burglar is because it gives us the opportunity to hotwire, which is fairly useful, especially since we're spawning randomly. It allows us to pick up a vehicle in case we need to drive very far to get to civilization. But unfit, overweight, burglar, we're dexterous, fast reader, and fast learner. Fast reader allows us to read books quickly. That will give us a multiplier towards our traits, and fast learner will give us bonuses to XP gains regarding those traits. Overweight will place us at 95 kilograms, which you want to be approximately 80 kilograms plus or minus a few pounds, or a few kilograms, so that you have some wiggle room depending on the food that you can obtain. And unfit challenges our endurance a bit, but we can overcome that with exercise within the game. So unfit and overweight are two attributes that we can actually lose over time. But if you're not familiar with the system, you get negatives costs towards positive traits, and then you get positive points towards the negative traits, and it must balance out at 0. So again, you can see things like cowardly, short-sighted, pacifist, and each one of these things comes with detriments that'll make your game tougher, and then they can be balanced out with positive traits that will help you, aid you with different things like skill sets, or points towards specific skills. So, but we chose burglar. And here's our character generation. I just tend to go to random, so I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Carrie Chigulio, that's tough to say, so I'll kind of go through here a little bit, look for a tough guy. Stanford Richard. Yeah, I like his beard. He'll go into the fray. So, it's just the opening titles. It's just telling you this is the end times, there's been a zombie plague, and there's no hope for survival, but we will try. And as I said, this is once and done. If we get bitten or, in fact, killed, that will be the end of the story. So when you get bitten, you have approximately 3 days before your character becomes a zombie. So if I get bitten, I will probably give up the ghost in that moment. So here we go. And we are in a house, which is fantastic. So you can see these little phrases kind of blip-blopping on the side of the screen. That means there's TVs and radios on. But I will close the curtains in here, so if we have any non-friendly neighbors kind of peeking in, they won't see us. And I believe our lights are out here. There we go. So this is an okay start. I'll take a hand torch. This is our inventory. These are the items that are in the highlighted item, which is the side of this cabinet. So a battery, I'll take for now. But nothing else really much of value at this point. Duct tape is great, but I don't want to overload our character because he is unfit and overweight. And you can see we have carrying capacities here. We can have 12, I'm assuming, kilograms worth of inventory, and we're at 1.74. And that obviously goes up and up as we take on more and more things. I will take a pencil. We'll be able to mark a map with that. And there's nothing else. As you can see, that drawer is empty on that little nightstand. So I'm going to crouch and open this door. And I right clicked on the door. You can hit the activation button, which is E, and it'll open things. And I know exactly where we're at. We are in Louisville because of the water. We are in an apartment building in Louisville. Not a fantastic start, not a terrible start. There's a ton of places to look here for items, but there's also a ton of zombies. But what I want to point out here, I'm going to take this exposure survival video cassette. We'll talk a little bit more about that. Books, magazines, I'll take a magazine. Cooking 1, volume 1 for beginners. We'll take a quick look here at our skills. So previously I was talking about skill sets. Here they are. Some of them are built in: fitness, strength, fitness, obviously, because I took on fit. We have no levels in it. Things like light-footed, nimble, sneaking, we have those because of the burglar occupation. Combat, we get through the usage of those types of items, so an axe, long blunt, like a baseball bat, short blunt, blades like machetes and katanas if you're really lucky, spears, and then maintenance is how well you utilize those items over time to not make them wear down as quickly. And there is each item has a limited amount of usage before it breaks. Then here are the big ones: carpentry, cooking, farming, first aid, electrical, metalworking, mechanics, and tailoring. Those items, those skill sets are built upon you actually doing things within those categories. And we'll talk a little bit more about that. Aiming and reloading, firearms. I will not be getting into gunplay in this series because I'm not great at it, and it is tough, and it also brings all the zombies to the yard. And then finally, survivalist will be fishing, trapping, and foraging. And those are, again, survival skills. You get XP by doing those things, although there are a couple of other things we can do. So we'll head out here. We are in an apartment, and I'll look for a light to turn on so that it looks a little bit brighter. Television set. So we're going to try something here. If you right click on a TV, you get device options, and they come up. This television is off. We'll turn it on. And as you can see, the volume's middling. We'll turn it to low, about 2. And we will tune to the Life and Living channel and tune in. And we'll see if we get lucky. We probably will not, because we spent a little bit of time here. 3 times a day, 6 a.m., 12 noon, and 6 p.m., a television program comes on that can contribute experience to your skills, which would be cooking, carpentry, and the 6 p.m. program is exposure survival. And that could be fishing, trapping, foraging, or there, I believe, is one program on farming. And so 6 a.m., 12 noon, 6 p.m., if you turn on the television, come over here, stand close, listen to it, you can get experience in those for free. So they're 100% worth it, but sometimes you just can't get to a television set. So we'll take that blue pen just again so we can mark our map as we go along. Bookshelves mostly contain books. There you go. And you can see like volume 2, volume 1, volume 5. So each book, there are 5 volumes per category, so tailoring 1 through 5. Each book contributes to 2 levels of bonus experience multipliers. So tailoring 1, as you can see, gives you an XP multiplier for levels 1 and 2. So tailoring 2 is for 3 and 4, tailoring 3 is for 5 and 6, etc. So this electricity is for levels 9 and 10. We don't need those right now, but we will take this radio and I'll show you why. So it doesn't look like, it looks like it's past 6 a.m. so the TV's just playing. But if I look at this radio, and I have to equip that in the primary, some of them you can just, if they're on a table, you can right click like a device and it'll come up with this. What I want to see is that, and I just got very lucky. If I turn that on, turn on the radio, turn the volume down, because if you have high volume you can lure in zombies, but I will go to the automated emergency broadcast and I'll tune into that. The emergency broadcast system can tell you what the weather is going to be like on the present day and what the weather is going to be like the next day. So important. So if you're planting crops, things like that, deciding when you're going to run around, you can plan accordingly. It's not great to run around in fog or extreme hurricane conditions because your visibility is extremely limited. But I will put that on because the other thing it can tell us about is there is a event called the helicopter. And when a helicopter comes through, I have it set to come through once, it stirs up all the zombies. And the problem with that is if you are outside, the helicopter will find you and follow you. And I'll stop waxing poetic here so you can see kind of what's going on. So there you go. I can find out what the temperature is going to be, winds, etc., etc. Clear skies. So if I have crops planted, I need to water them. Average temperature tomorrow, humidity, mild wind, clear skies, and that's it. And I let it go until it does about 2 little radio static sounds, and then I will turn it off. Because if the helicopter, and I'll go back to it, is going to be listed, they will have your forecasts followed by air activity detected. And when it says that, it means that the helicopter is imminent and you want to kind of hunker down someplace safe and maybe read a book, engage in some of the skills, but really get out of the wilds, because if you are outside and the helicopter finds you, the zombies will find you, and you will lose wherever you're at. If you're in your base and you draw the zombies there, herds will come and find you. So as I was talking, I was doing a couple things. I just picked up an eraser. It allows me to take a symbol off my map once I place it there. I picked up a blue pen to have a different color to mark my map with, but bedroom we started in, another bedroom. One of these is outside to the hallway, and one of them is a bathroom. So when I proceed to a door, I'll right click on it and then I will hit open door. As you can see, I can mouse click left on it to pop it open, or I can tap the E, which is the action button, to get it to open. But I do it this way because if there's a zombie in there, it gives me a quick second to step back so they can't get me. There's nobody out there. So sometimes when there's a zombie in a room, the door will shake and you'll hear a banging noise. And I'll point it out when we get to a zombie. But these two doors shouldn't have anything behind them because this is where we spawned. So it should be relatively safe. The game tries to help you out in that respect so you can at least get your footing. Although the other day I spawned with a zombie right on top of me. It was not pretty. So, but I will cautiously open the next door, take a step back, and we found our kitchen. The kitchen. And the first thing we will do is eat a fresh carrot. I'll watch with Mr. Richards here to try to not eat a bunch of junk because he's already overweight. But we did benefit with finding a can opener first and some canned corned beef. And I will take that. You need a can opener to open cans except for canned corned beef, canned sardines, and tuna, I believe are the three, because they have pull tabs on them. So if we wouldn't have found a can opener, even if we wanted to eat some vegetable soup, we would not have been able to do it. But we lucked out. It was, they're rare, but they're not unique. You can find them usually in households. We will take this orange soda, but we will not drink it. We will waste it on the floor. And the reason I'm doing that is because we're going to put water in it. Water and food are essential to your survival, and we'll talk a little bit more about it when we see some things that relate to it. But suffice it to say, water and food, you need to find them, you need to keep sources of them, because eventually the water and the electricity will cease to function as society breaks down. It is random, and I have it set, it should be within the month. So that's why any chance I find water, I'm going to take it. The good news is, as long as you don't go to a water source previously, after the water shuts off, it has a limited supply of water within it. So that means a sink, toilet, unfortunately, bathtub, and water coolers, which is a mod that I have because I like them, will have water in them. So that is not terrible. The electricity can be alleviated, the problem of not having it, with a generator, and we'll look for one of those. So we were in the kitchen, and now we'll go to, I'm assuming, the bathroom here, and we are. Reason we want to come to the bathrooms, bandages, and there we go. And we will turn off our radio now, because we've already seen the predictions for tomorrow, today and tomorrow. And we did not find anything useful as far as a weapon, so I will take a rolling pin. As you can see, it doesn't do, it's in great condition, does not do very much damage, but it's better than nothing. So as of right now, we have a rolling pin. And I will leave that TV on. It's not very loud, and in case we have to come back to this room and we don't know what time it is, if the television's on the program, it'll automatically start giving us the XP. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go to the top of this building. Find out which floor we were on. We were actually on top floor, which is brilliant. This is not bad as a scenario because we could start a garden on top of the building. The bad thing is if zombies come up these stairs, we're trapped, because I believe this building is 5 stories. We will not survive that fall. Sometimes you can jump out of a second story building and not get hurt. But five floors, we will not survive. Or if we do, we won't be happy about it, because then you'll have broken legs and arms and have to heal, and doesn't make for very exciting watching. So, as you can see here, a couple of different books. I will take this metalworking book for now. Metalworking, carpentry, and electricity are strong. Farming and cooking also strong, so I will take that farming book. Things like word search magazines and newspapers allow us to get rid of boredom. And I'm taking that because when you're just walking through buildings, ransacking them, and there are no zombies, your character can get bored very quickly. I will take this metalworking magazine as well, because as you can see, it actually teaches us a recipe. So if we can get our metalworking high enough and we have access to that recipe, we can actually do different things. With metalworking, we can build containers, things like that. Hunter magazine, there you go, another one. Allows us to make a box trap and a cage trap. We'll take that. And the automotive, the advanced mechanics, gives us certain recipes that allow us to work on certain cars. And when we get to that point, we'll talk about it a little more. I will take the red pen, and I will take the magazine. Now, as I stated at the beginning, we're doing a once and done run. I'll turn on the lights so it's a little lighter in here. So I could read these items and just put them back on the shelf, but then my character will maintain the knowledge. Books are a little bit different, because as you can see, like the first level volume book for farming, it's 220 pages. So it takes a little bit of time to read. I can speed up time since I'm in a solo game with these functions right here, these buttons, but I'll probably be reading things off screen and just giving updates as to where the character's at based upon things I do off screen. Otherwise, all exploration will be within an episode. So I will go in here and do the same thing, and we found their kitchen. So as you can see, can opener, more canned food, and I'll take the sardines. If we were underweight or trying to maintain our weight, the spaghetti bolognese, fantastic. You can see it has a ton of calories, ton of carbs, ton of proteins, ton of fat. It's very helpful to our character. And you can see there's things like roasting pans. There's different items you can get to participate in cooking. But since we are overweight, I'll go to the refrigerator and eat a pear. And we'll talk a little bit about that. So what popped up there is called a moodle. And as we adventure, things will change. And based upon those changes, we'll get moodles. And that one originally said well fed. Now it says satiated. And you can see it gives me a +2 in my carrying capacity and plus 15% healing. So when I said this was 12 before, you can see now it's 14 because I am well fed. As we digest, we'll lose this moodle and we'll go back to our original carrying capacity. So tune in, just make sure if it's noon. We unfortunately haven't found a watch yet, so we have no idea what time it is. But we can get things over here like our carrying capacity where we have we're carrying too much, we're well fed, we're underfed, we're thirsty, we're sweaty, we're tired, and as they pop up, I'll explain them. I'll open this door exactly like I had stated before, and again, we're in a bathroom. Soap, sewing kit, which has a needle and thread. If we were going to pursue tailoring immediately, we could take that. Hairspray. And there's nothing in the medicine cabinet, so we'll leave that alone. We'll look on here just to see there is a hunting magazine. We'll take that for now. And there is the Treasure Beyond Treasures, the 4-color Bic pen. So that means we can get rid of all of these things. They weren't contributing much weight, but there we are. There's also an angler magazine. I'll take that. And an herbalist guide, which is important towards first aid. It gives us some herbal remedies in case we get sick. So we've looked at this shelf now. looked at, well, that wraparound's all part of the same. And this shelf, there you go. Cooking beginner, first aid master. I will take the cooking beginner. Again, we're at first level, so those beginner books are where we want to start at. What I really want is a carpentry level 1. So if I've missed that inadvertently, you can tell me in the comments, but I probably won't be back here. Level 4 expert and a metalwork beginner, but I believe we already have one. Yep. So I'll open this door. We were in the kitchen, and that's what I tend to do is if we're ransacking, just leaving doors open. But take a step back. And really what I'm looking for is something that, like a beautiful, beautiful crowbar. I will equip that in both hands. Crowbar is a tool and a weapon. One of my favorites. The endurance on it, the conditions are usually pretty high. They can hand out a medium amount of damage, and it takes a lot for them to degrade over time. So, although this one that we've gotten, it's middling condition at best. But better than nothing, and certainly better than a rolling pin. I will keep the rolling pin until we have another option. So, duct tape is good, like I said. Nothing else in here. We will check the nightstand. Electronics magazine, we'll take it. Electronics you can do amazing things with, but it takes an extreme amount of time to get your electronics skills up. You have to take apart a lot of digital watches. So that's where we came in, and we will leave it there. It doesn't look like carpentry has started, or we missed it because we were out of the room. The elevators do not work. Light switch. So we'll go in the next room. And once we have a couple of things that will allow us to survive, like carpentry level 1, then we'll venture outside to where the real tests begin. Another big pen, nothing too exciting there. I'm really looking for weapons, clothing, things that'll be useful on our journey outside. And since we were in Louisville, there is a taxi cab. Since we're in Louisville, I believe we're going to go towards the industrial section of the town. Louisville is the biggest metropolitan area on the map. You can find anything you need here. You can also find a lot of zombies. But a couple of moodles that have popped up. We're getting bored, and we are carrying a fairly heavy load. It's not much. We're over by 0.99 of our 12. So it's not terrible, but a backpack would be fantastic because when we're carrying a heavier load, we get exhausted faster. And since we took out of shape as one of our attributes, our endurance will suffer greatly and it will occur much, much faster. So we'll look for some more food. And you have to look everywhere. See, cereal, fantastic. If you are underweight, cereal's one of the greats. Chips are great. Peanut butter, fantastic. But I'll take that beef jerky. Who doesn't like beef jerky? At the beginning here, since, again, we're overweight, we will need to eat. I'll eat that cabbage. It has almost no caloric impact on us, but it gives us that well-fed. So you can see, since we're well-fed, now our carrying capacity went up, so now we're not carrying a heavy load. But the other one is we're getting bored. And because we're just running from room to room, our character is getting bored. And we can solve that in a myriad of ways. We can go outside. We can run into a zombie, which will scare us and panic us and make us not bored. Or we can read one of the things that we came across. And I'll read the Word Search magazine to get rid of that, because if we get bored, then we can get unhappy, then we can get sad. It becomes a whole mixed bag of psychological issues, which then makes your character perform worse as you go on. But we'll do that reading. That I have a mod that allows me to read and walk, so you can do other things, but it also narrows your viewpoint, which is why that little shadow came up around the character. You can see we lost our well-fed attribute, so now we're carrying a heavy load again. So open the store, bathroom, rubber duck, which we don't need in this run through. And there's a bandage and tweezers, and I will take those because if we have to break windows, you have to remove glass. And if you don't remove the glass before you do crawl through a window, you have a big chance of getting cut up, glass in your hands. So just to kind of avoid that whole situation, we'll take tweezers. Again, I don't know what time it is, so we might have missed. And we haven't come across an alarm clock, which you can carry with you as, yeah, we were already in here. I just want to make sure. Yep, I haven't seen an alarm clock, but we're not on the 5th story. It looks like we might be in a 2 or 3 story building. So I'll open this door. Yep, kitchen. So we're in good shape in here. We will go downstairs. Yeah, I don't want to spend too much time in here. Apartment buildings, they do have useful items, but they tend to be on the lighter side of finding things that we need. So we'll kind of breeze through here fairly quickly. Oh, we have a reader though. Oh, metalworking, man. All these things, eventually we will go towards a bookstore. So I'm not too worried about picking up everything. Good cooking magazine I will take though, as I say that, because it allows you to make cookies, which can help you do multiple great things. Lumberjack shirt I will take, and I'll wear it. Make Mr. Richards look handsome. But it also gives us some protection against zombies. So as you can see there, conditions great. Gives us a little bit of insulation in case it gets cool, and against wind resistance. And if we look at our protection, you can see it made it better than, well, no, it didn't. It really didn't do anything. It's more against temperature than bites, but we'll talk a little bit more about that. Again, same thing. Yep, I'll take an adhesive bandage. We could take vitamins. So if we get sleepy, it would keep us up a little bit longer. But I'm not going to worry about that now. Herbalist guide again. You'll get a lot of repeats. So, and again, I'm going to go and just try to get out of here. Go down to the lowest floor. Because we could spend, oh, no, I think we are 5 floors up. We could spend all day in here. No, well, 6 floors up. Are we in the tallest building in Louisville? All right, and we've hit the bottom floor. And if you hear that noise, our first zombie. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to open that door. You can see they're banging on that one. Zombies are not very smart, so I'm going to bolt past them. And since we have a good weapon, as I almost get bit on our first swing, second swing, I'll take them on. And then the pursuit is a watch. So we've spent the whole day in that building. It's 8 p.m. So we can do one of 2 things. We can venture out at night, and we're going to start getting tired. There's going to be zombies out because we are in downtown. Or we can go back in and kind of take a look at what's in this building then and kind of hunker down for the night, which is my option. I tend to gamble and get bitten at night. So I'll open this door, step away, and take this gentleman out. And he has a digital watch, and that's what I really wanted, because it gives us additional information. Lets us know the date and lets us know the time. So, oh, and it looks like we started in July. So I must not have saved that change to the world, which is fine. It's fine. I'll open this door. Little basement laundromat. And then this is probably a door outside as well. Oh no, little bathroom. Take adhesive bandages. You don't want to die from bleeding out, getting scratched somewhere where you haven't been bitten, you haven't been hurt extensively, but you're just going to bleed out. It's terrible. So always have a bandage, ripped sheets, something like that on you. But since we're kind of going to hunker down, I'm going to look at a couple of the rooms in here, kind of work my way up until I get tired, and then I'm going to sleep. So always look at the books. Always open the door ready to step back. And you can see a lot of these apartments almost look the same. Except this one has a duffel bag in it, which is what I was talking about. I'm going to equip it on my back. So now we can do wonderful things like take all of our literature and put it in our duffel bag. We can take anything that we're basically not going to use immediately. And the duffel bag has a carrying capacity of 18, which is fantastic. It basically lessens the load. It doesn't eliminate it. It's not like it's an additional 18, because if you watch, things will go down and adjust as I put items into that duffel bag. But the good news is that, as you can see, it starts really taking some of the load off of your character. And it allows us to start carrying things that we find. So I'm just going to get all of this stuff in here. Bandages and tweezers. So hand torch in case we need to see someplace, a water bottle in case we get thirsty, and a rolling pin in case our crowbar breaks. So electric wire, saw I will take. That'll allow us to break things down, build up our carpentry. The duct tape now I will take. Allows us to repair things like our weapons, tools. The gun case, you can see there's guns and ammo in there. As I stated at the beginning, I will not be participating in gunplay in this playthrough. That might be something for a future playthrough as I get a little bit more familiar with that system. Again, you can do a ton of damage. You can, if you're skilled at it, have at it, but I tend to just summon zombies to my side, and that's not the purpose or point of kind of sneaking through town as a burglar. Couple of books, couple of videos. I don't say mechanics is good. I will take that for now because that'll allow us to work on cars. Yep, another radio, but since we found our radio that has the emergency broadcast system, I will take that for a second just to see. Just so you know that I wasn't making up that oh, again, I have to equip it. The emergency broadcast is not on every radio. See, there you go. Kentucky Radio, NNR, which is talk radio, another talk radio station, and music hits. So we were just lucky that we found the information that we needed. So I will get rid of that radio. I could also disassemble it to gain electrical XP as well as materials, but I'm not going to pursue that right now. So yep, that's our entrance door. Just make sure we looked everywhere. I should be leaving these doors open. Yep, the bathroom. I believe we took everything out. But so there you go. We have a duffel bag now. I believe we already have Carpentry 1. Yep. Carpentry 5 Mastery. I will take that. As they go higher in level, some of them become extremely difficult to find. The Mastery books, if you see them and that's something that you think you're going to pursue, I would take it. Because otherwise what will happen is you'll work and work and work and get that skill up to level 8, and as you keep going up in levels, you need more and more XP, and because you don't have a mastery book, you will be grinding out the levels. You'll be taking apart 1,000 crates just to get the XP. I'll turn this on. I believe this is going to be the apartment that we're going to stay in. So I will tune the radio to life and living, because when we wake up, we'll run out here and we'll watch the cooking show. We have some fresh food, which is fantastic. We have some canned food, which is also fantastic. And we have some chocolate, which is great. I'll actually put that on Mr. Richard, because it'll alleviate some of our unhappiness. So if we start to get unhappy, we can have some of that. Now I'll watch again my consumption of that, because he is overweight and unfit. But we'll leave that there. Come over here. Look at our bookshelves. And I will take that video. Woodcraft, episode 3. So just like the television shows, we can watch video cassettes of subjects to get XP. And once television stops broadcasting, which is about the 8th day when things start breaking down, we can watch those videos and still get XP. You can only watch them once, but once is enough. You can get almost a whole level out of just watching a video sometimes. I like to save them for when it's later in the game and I'm trying to build up my skill sets. Then I'll watch a bunch of videos. And you can get cooking, basically the cooking show, woodcraft, and survival. And then there are a couple of other things that can contribute as well. As you can see, we're getting a little peckish. No detriments as of yet, but we're negative 15% hungry. So I might eat something that's in the kitchen. And now we're getting tired. And that's what I was looking for. And that's why I didn't venture out and mess with zombies. So, because I tend to do that, and it tends to get me killed. So I'm a little peckish. I'll eat some grapefruit. And then I'm going to go to bed. And before I do that, I'm going to leave that on. I'm going to leave the lights on, because if you start turning out the lights, A, I'm not paying the electric bill here, but B, it's pitch black in the morning. And then your guy or girl wakes up and you cannot see, and you get trapped in a room. So I'm just going to open these doors. This one has has a little balcony too. Well, maybe I'll stay in here for the night. How nice. I'll just check. There's a bikini and a guitar. This person knew how to party. I'll just check in here real quick. Just see what's in here. You can see it's getting darker because I'm getting drowsy. I'm going to make sure my light's on. Yep, see, and there you go. Pitch black without the light. But before I go to sleep, I'm going to go to my watch. So here's the things that I'm wearing. I'm going to set the alarm. And I'm going to set the alarm on this watch for 5:40. Which is already there. You can adjust it. And it is military time. So if I go, there you go, 1900. But I'll go to 5:40. Reason gives me time to jump up, go to the kitchen, grab something to eat or drink, as the case may be, and then watch the television. So I will set the alarm, hit OK. Oh. And that is it. You can see the little bell tells me that the alarm is on. You don't want to have your watch alarm set for during the day, because if you're out and about and your watch goes off, it will draw zombies. But that is it. A successful day for Stanford Richards on our endeavor here. So thank you very much for watching. This has been Guarna Throt from Lost Hope. Don't lose hope. Take care.